What sex advice do you wish you had known before your first time? Trim your nails, you barbarian. If you stay in one position too long, your leg can cramp. I've never heard anyone describe their first time as too long. Don't put the condom on too tight, leave a little space around the head. Otherwise there will be numbness and likelihood of breakage. Women will sometimes spontaneously burst into tears after sex. They're not psycho for doing so, and you don't need to ghost them for it. Don't try to imitate porn. This needs to be the number one thing to learn. Porn is acted out sex, it's exaggerated and emphasized for maximum effect. It is not the same as actual sex. That's not to say it's completely fake, there are some things in porn which do happen in actual sex. But don't expect it to be like porn in any way. The point of entry is closer to the butthole than the pubic hair. It's lower than you think it is. It's lower than you think it is. It's also not that low. Be careful, because she's going to be very unhappy if you pick the wrong one. Op is about to lose his virginity. Hell yeah. Don't do it standing up if you have other options. It's okay to talk and be lighthearted with your S/O through the whole experience. Movies tend to portray sex as silent and sultry, but I find that being more relaxed and communicative during sex leads to a better, more comfortable experience. Women usually have fluid that acts as a cleaner for their vagina, so just because she's wet doesn't mean you made her wet. Moral of the story, foreplay is important. As a girl, never felt much of a difference with the different types of condoms out there until Trojan bearskin shafts kiss. Then again, every VB different. Lots of exercise and a good diet will help your erection stay really hard and last for longer. Sex is something you do with a woman. It's not something you do to her. It can leave a lasting impact on both of you. Make smart choices. Drink water, especially if you're drinking alcohol. Cramps during sex are a pain. If a condom is loose, it is too big, get a smaller one. Don't get blackout drunk beforehand. Pee after sex. Always. It prevents UTIs, and trust me, they suck. My mom never mentioned it to me, barely mentioned periods even, sex ed never told us. I learned from a much older female friend I almost got into a relationship with. So weird. I suffered from many UTIs until I learned. They are miserable, and sadly I am still prone to them if I leave a long relationship and switch things up. 1. Foreplay is very important. 2. Treat it like a marathon, not a sprint. 3. Be proactive, grab towels and wet wipes before you do the deed. 4. Use a separate blanket or sheet so that the fun juices don't get on the bed sheets. Good sex requires that everyone feels safe. It doesn't have to be a super serious deal. It's probably going to be awkward, embarrassing and possibly funny, and that's all okay. If you're a guy, learn where the clitoris is before, and please, for the love of God, cut your fingernails. If you're a girl, move your hips. Sex shouldn't be happening to you, you should be more involved. Also, you don't need to be Olympians for your first time, keep those positions very vanilla and basic. Again, if it's a girl first time, it's going to be painful because you're being stretched, and different positions like reverse cowgirl stretches you out even more. You're probably not gonna be amazing your first time, so just enjoy it. Communication is the key. If you're the virgin, tell them and talk about how you want it to go. If they are, do the same and don't try to push any boundaries. I took a lady's virginity once. We went away for the weekend. We came up with a game plan concerning what she was comfortable doing. She let me know when she was ready to try and I initiated the encounter. She said that she enjoyed herself. It's the journey, not the destination. If it feels good for both people, that's enough. Don't trust people when that say they want casual sex. It's never as casual as you think it will be. Yeah, always bring a tux. If she stops moving completely, check for a pulse because she may be dead. Women also like hearing men moan. Don't be silent, if it feels good, say it. The vagina is really warm. Like way warmer than your hands or probably anything you've ever experienced before on your dick. This feels really good, so be prepared to handle that and not come right away. Funny no one else has mentioned this, because I've never seen anyone mention it, and boy was I surprised my first time face with tears of joy. Do what I did and research the crap out of it, smiley face. We live in the information age. This was many years ago, but I got like 10 plus PDF copies of different pirated books on sex and read them all. I studied them like I had an upcoming exam, and I'm very happy with how my first time went. So far I have watched some animated clips of a Minecraft person and a creeper doing it together. Is that enough research? That doing it in the front seat of a Toyota Corolla at the beach is not only uncomfortable, it is also messy, and if you're really lucky when he goes to fling the used and kind of bloody condom out the window, it will drop and stick to the window halfway down. Not that I would know, ha 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 ha. Holes 1, 2, and 3 should have been labeled in a different order. You're allowed to say no. For those with vaginas, it's not supposed to hurt. All my life I was told that the first time would be painful, but if it hurts it just means you're not warmed up enough and you may need more lube. Also, don't use ribbed condoms because they will tear your vag up. Most advice say that you should let her come before you do. While true, mind there are some who can get oversensitive really quick. In other words, after they had a good time, they have trouble going for round 2. Lick it before you stick it. Cries in virgin. Sex is always awkward, please don't call attention to that. Women can, and should, come too. Porn is not equal to what women like. Latex allergy, had to find out the hard way. Recommendations is to check before then regret later. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, and if you're not enjoying something, it's okay to say you want to stop or suggest doing something else. If your partner tries to insist that a specific sex act that you don't like is mandatory, or guilt trips you for not wanting to do it, time to find a new partner. Hey sport, I know I'm not your real dad, but your mom thought you needed a talk, man to man. She said you're starting to notice girls, and your body's changing. I want to say that it's okay and normal. Wait, cartoon ponies? That's not as normal. I'm not really sure how to talk about that one yet. Let's stick with human girls for now, okay? Anyway, you might be curious about exploring your body, and maybe there's someone who you want to explore with together. It's okay if there isn't someone yet, too. But whatever you do, we want you to be safe. So you have to understand if your wiener goes into her vajayjay, she could have a baby. And, there's diseases that you could catch. So buy a condom. Buy a couple. Practice putting one on your peen by yourself, because they don't do any good if they break. It has to be hard to work, too. But there's more than just the physical stuff. I wish when I was your age my mom's boyfriend had told me that hookers won't kiss on the mouth, and they always try to rush you. You don't want that for your first time. So take your time, be safe, and never use your real name. I just wish I hadn't taken the advice to heart to this extent. I had heard that I should masturbate prior to the act, so that I would last longer, since apparently everyone comes too fast their first time. So I did. Like 4 times. Before lunch. Teenage testosterone is Hiluva drug. Meeting happens, we go all the way. We use a condom, which dampens the sensation even more. I start pounding. And pounding. And pounding. We swap positions after what feels like 15 minutes. And I keep pounding. Swap again. Keep pounding. Nothing happens. I could do this forever. After something like an hour the girl tells me to stop, because her vagina hurts. Turns out she was finished 45 minutes ago. She was now bone dry, and had basically gotten a friction burn. She had just been too polite to say anything. And now she was crying because she felt that she could not satisfy me and that there was something wrong with her. So all in all, a shitty experience. She got a burning vagina and I was left thinking sex was super overrated, not even considering that I had masturbated myself into a state of zero sensation right before the attempt. Take your time. The longer you make things last, the better it will feel. This is true for women and men. The longer you are turned on, and the longer you delay the satisfaction, the better it is in the end. So take your time and explore, it is worth it and it will feel better in the end, and the deeper the connection you'll have with your partner.